Hello everyone and welcome back to SWGoH. My name is MoleTM and I'm sorry I've been away for the last couple of days. I have unfortunately been sick. I don't know if any of you saw the community post I put out, but I am slightly getting better, so videos will be returning soon. The weekly update for Star Wars and Heroes of Middle-earth is coming. I'm sorry that they weren't out on the proper days. Wednesdays should definitely be Heroes of Middle-earth update day. I'm sorry that it wasn't today. We've got some news. We have some news anyway. Fellowship Month. Foundations of the Fellowship. We have this beautiful artwork here with Gimli and Legolas. Greetings, ring bearers. Crucial to the story of the Lord of the Rings is not just the journey, but the fellowship and the friendships forged on this epic journey. This July, we'll be putting an iconic duo front and center, along with an iconic and powerful friend. Legolas, Gimli, and Gandalf the Grey. Now, if everybody's predictions were right, and if we read down most of this blog, there isn't any news on how to unlock Gandalf. So that leads me to believe, with everyone speculating, with everyone thinking that Gandalf may be the Han Solo of this first raid, with the Mines of Moria essentially being the Rancor raid of Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth, you're going to want people to play raids. In order for people to play raids, I mean, they're going to play it anyway because it's new content, and we are starved for content. These marquees, the community aren't happy with them, and I get it. Now, I've sat on my horse and I've tried to defend this game time and time again in the Discord, on my channel, in comments with people, because I know and I believe that it can be great. However, if raids don't come out by the end of this month, and they're saying that in July, this is what's going to be happening, so I'm thinking end of July, which is what I originally said. I mean, I did originally say end of August, but I then changed it to July. We may end up getting raids this month. No, we need raids this month. Anyway, here is the little overview of Legolas and the one of Gimli, and then finally the look at Gandalf the Grey. I'm not going to read any of the descriptors because I do not want this video to be massively long. I just want it to be kind of short, sweet, and informative. So here we see kit details and how to obtain Legolas and Gimli are out now, which we will look at. Meanwhile, Gandalf the Grey's character kit is coming soon. Now notice here there is no mention on how to get Gandalf either, which again leads me to believe that they're teasing him and waiting for the raids. If we look down here, we can also see that the raids post is linked, and it would make sense that we have the Legolas kit reveal, we have Gimli's kit reveal. Could this be where we unlock Gandalf? I'm hoping so. Alright, so taking a look at Legolas. The Legolas is going to be a marquee character, which I was kind of not scared, but was hoping he wasn't going to be a marquee, but I kind of knew he was going to be. Legolas. He's an attacker, light character obviously, elf, and with the Fellowship. Prince of the Woodland Realm. This devastating attacker becomes even stronger when fighting beside trusted allies. Now, here's something that's interesting. He's best with Gimli and Arwen, so maybe we're going to look at for now, Elrond, Elladan, Arwen, Legolas, Gimli team until Gandalf is released and unlocked. That is my thoughts for the arena meta so far. So obviously his name's Legolas. He's a light alignment. He is part of the Fellowship. He's light, elf, Fellowship, attacker, and bow. So looking at his abilities, his basic is rapid fire. You attack them for 160% damage, and also on your turn he also attacks the most wounded enemy for an extra 110 damage. So that's a double shot. Not quite an AoE, but this is the first, I believe, and I could be wrong, this is the first multi-target ability that we've seen that isn't an AoE. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think that may be the case. His special one, the Pride of Mirkwood. So the stamina cost is 3, and it does start with 3 stamina already on battle start, which means you can do this from the get-go. You're going to attack the target enemy 3 times for 120% damage per hit, and each crit dispels 1 boon, and you gain a stack of Nimble. Very interesting, very interesting. This is, again, a boon clear, which is highly useful, and especially when using Arwen as well, So Arwen can clear Banes, and then on a crit, Legolas can dispel boons from them. Alright, so the special 2 is Perfect Shot, and we see here the nice little team up with Gimli. So the stamina cost is 5, but you start with 3. And at max upgrade, you attack the target enemy for 460% damage. Very, very good. This attack ignores 50% of the target's armor, also good. And on kill, you gain 100% turn meter, which is incredible, which means if you get a kill with this, Legolas is going again immediately after, with an extra stamina recharged. So you could Perfect Shot into a Pride of Mirkwood, maybe even into a Rapid Fire, depending on what you have. Also, if Gimli is an ally, this attack has a plus 30% crit chance and plus 50% crit damage, which means it's going to hit, and it's going to hit hard if Gimli is an ally. Passive ability, Legendary Archer. So at max upgrade, you gain a plus 5% crit chance, an additional 4% crit chance per boon on self. So that means if we're going to continuously stack buffs on him with those Rivendell elves, then that means that he's going to crit more, which means that he's going to do more damage, and then it also means that he's going to be dispelling boons like crazy. So, also on crit, which we already know that Legolas is going to do, with all that added percentage crit chance, specifically the ones per boon, he's also going to grant advantage for 2 turns to random fellowship or elf ally. Now, advantage means the next hit is going to be a guaranteed critical. So if he gives this to a very powerful ally, maybe Gimli, we haven't had a look at his kit yet, this could be an insane amount of damage, just constantly given out. So his event will be starting in 5 days time on the 10th of July and will end 7 days later. We do have here a very similar layout to what we had with the Elladan and Arwen events. We have 100 total shards from tiers 1 to 5, which means that you will unlock him at 3 stars. And then of course I assume that there will be some kind of chest or offer that will allow you to go ahead and pump him up to 5 stars, 6 stars, 7 stars. Moving on to Gimli. Now Gimli again is a light character, a tank, a dwarf, and also within the fellowship. He is best with Legolas and Philly, who isn't really used that much in the current meta. So he is also one-handed heavy, which means his 2 heavy battle axes that he has, or hand axes I guess they would be. But his basic ability, Heavy Hands, will attack the target enemy for 180% damage and will gain him might for 1 turn. Now might is obviously very well known. It means that you get an extra 50% damage on your next attack. So his special 1, Deadly Throw, costs 3 stamina and you start the battle with 3. So again, it means that you can do this straight off rip, and you can attack the target enemy for 380% damage and inflict Weaken for 2 turns. Now Weaken, we know again, is to reduce the damage by 50%. So if you are hitting this ability straight off, it means that you are taking out basically your main attacker's damage, cutting it in half, and then with this one here you are also increasing your own damage by 50%. And then his special 2 is Dwarven Defiance. It's a stamina cost of 3 and it starts at 3, which again means that you can do this off rip. It means that he gains 4 stacks of Provoke, which we all know is like a light taunt, let's call it. Also gains 3 stacks of regeneration for 2 turns to self and the 2 most wounded allies. Again, a very, very good ability. Means that people are going to continuously be healing. And, you know, if we are going to put this with, let's say, Arwen, so you're going to have Legolas, Gimli, Arwen, Elladan, Elrond, then people are going to just constantly be healing, which is, again, going to add an extra level of survivability to all these teams. Then he's also going to go ahead and grant 2 stacks of defensive to the 2 most wounded fellowship and dwarf allies. Now, whether that means that this is going to be split, so it could be 4 potential allies. So if you have, I don't know, Legolas and Gandalf, let's say, will they get 2 stacks? And then also Philly and Killy could get 2 stacks if you were going to go with that kind of thing. We don't really know yet. And then his passive ability, which is Son of Gloin. I apologize profusely for my pronunciation on some of these names. I'm not going to say that I am the best at pronouncing these, but nevertheless. Ability description at max when a fellowship or a dwarf squad member drops below 75% health, retaliate against the attacker, dealing plus 75% bonus damage, which is incredible. This can trigger once per squad mate. During the retaliate, you gain 1 stack of provoke, and it grants 1 stack of defensive to the ally who triggered the retaliate. Now, defensive, as we know, means that you go ahead and block the next attack, and then obviously retaliate means that you counterattack as soon as the other ally is attacked. Defensive, you know, we've seen before on Ugluk, and the retaliate we've seen many times with Sam Gamgee. So Gimli's adventure will be starting the minute that Legolas's ends, which means it's going to be quick. And now this ends on the 24th of July, which means that I think we could see raids beginning on the 24th. If not the 24th, then definitely that week, potentially pushed to the 31st. But I think heavily, based on what I'm seeing now, I think 24th of July is when raids are coming. That's all I'll say. Prepare for July the 24th. At least prepare for that week. And again, I don't know what you guys can do to prepare that you haven't been doing already. There just isn't enough resources for you to prepare anymore. But if you are going to whale, save your money. Save your money now and pump everything in as soon as these guys are out. So we do only have 6 tiers for this. We have tiers 1 to 4, which are going to get us 25 shards of Gimli each. Again, unlocking him at 3 stars. And then, of course, we have the 2 extra tiers, potentially going to be at 3 stars and 5 stars, respectively. But as I said, there will probably be a pack and then various shard crates that you guys have seen before with Eladin and Arwen. Now, I don't want you guys to focus too much on these marquees. I really, really don't. Focus on raids. Focus on your teams. Focus on what you're building now. Okay, you may not be able to get the ability materials for the marquee events, or the gold, or the light crystals, or whatever it may be. You might not be able to unlock Gimli at 5 stars, or Legolas at 5 stars, or 7 stars. And you may see that if you're in the Shard of Death, or if you're in Shard 2, 3, 4, 8, whatever it may be, you might end up getting past. But it will change, and it will stop. If you continue building your account, the economy will fix itself, or will be fixed with various updates. Follow channels like mine, like APGains, like Swag, like Boilon, Tauna, Nooch, All Things Middle Earth. Go ahead and follow these big content creators in this community, and then we can all help each other get better through time. There are so many free-to-play guides. Follow them. There are so many pay-to-play guides. Follow them. Do what you need for your account. And if you have a set strategy in your head, and mind you, this is a strategy game still, a long-term plan can effectively counteract someone dipping their hand into their wallet eventually. It's not going to be a short-term thing. Like this game, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Now, I know this has been a rocky few months, and I want to thank the community here on the Discord, and let's work on this together. Let's all do it for this glorious man, Sir Ian McKellen himself. Let's hold out for Gandalf. Let's hold out for raids, and I hope you'll all join me. But that is going to do it for this, hopefully short, little news update, speculation, and a little bit of discussion. My name has been MoleTM. If you did like the video, go ahead, drop it a like, drop us a subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you guys very soon. Take it easy.